great, exceptional, and splendor of Vikidyl Models. I hope your holiday has been very interesting. You're welcome to our online lessons for the third term. I, your model teacher, Teacher Victoria, will be taking you on mathematics. Please get your writing materials and ensure you're involved. Before we go into the third term's work, let's do a review of your last term's work. Pay attention. God bless you. In your last term, you were taught fractions, square roots, and approximation. What are fractions? Fractions means part of a whole. Fraction is part of a whole of something and is usually made up of two digits, the numerator and the denominator. Now, in fraction, you were taught conversion of fractions, addition and subtraction of fractions, multiplication and division of fraction, reducing fraction to the lowest term, equivalence fraction. Let's go on to conversion of fractions. Let's do some exercises there. What do we mean by conversion of fraction? You can have a fraction as an improper fraction. For instance, you can have 25 over 3. This is an improper fraction. And you're expected to convert it to a mixed fraction. So you say 3 goes into 25. Now, your timetable comes in here. Please, Basic 4 pupil, ensure you learn and memorize your timetable from 2 times table to 12 times table. How many times can we find 3 in 25? It's all about a number that can multiply 3 to give you an answer close to 25, and that number is 8 because 3 can be found 8 times inside 25. 3 times 8 is 24. The remainder there is 1, so the denominator remains 3. We have converted the improper fraction to mixed fraction there. Now let's do a conversion of mixed fraction to an improper fraction. 4 whole number 2 over 3. What you do is you multiply the denominator, which is 3, by the whole number. When you have your answer, you add it to the numerator. What did I do? 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. So we'll be having 14 over 3. The denominator is always the same. We have converted the mixed fraction to an improper fraction. Now let's do an exercise on reducing fraction to the lowest term. Let's take 40 divided by 100. We want to reduce this fraction to the lowest term. Whenever your unit values are 0, do a cancellation. The numerator cancels the denominator. You're left with 4 over 2. 2 goes into 4 gives us 2. And 2 goes into 10 gives us 5. So to reduce 40 over 100 to the lowest term, we have 2 over 5. 2 over 5. Let's pick a neutral number. For instance, let's reduce 36 over 60 to the lowest term. What you simply do is you look at the values, look at the numbers. Are they all even numbers? Yes, so we will use factor 2. How many times can we find 2 in 3? We can find it only once, and we'll have a remainder 1. That 1 is kept in front of 6 and it becomes 16. So how many times can 2 go into 16? Is 8 times. How many times can 2 go into 6? 3 times. and into 0, 0 times. How many times can we find 2 in 18? We have 9 times. How many times can 2 go into 3? Once, remainder 1. The 1 that is kept in front of 0, it becomes 10. 2 goes into 10, 5. Look at that number. We're having 2 odd numbers there. And usually it's advisable that when you have odd numbers, you use factor 3. So we say 3 goes into 9, we'll be having 3. 3 goes into 15 is 5. So therefore, reducing 36 over 60 to the lowest, then we have 3 over 5. Let's go to equivalent fraction. What are equivalent fractions? Fractions that are alike, that are equals to themselves. For instance, 1 over 2 is equivalent to 2 over 4 and 3 over 6, on and on. You can go on and on. Why are they equivalent? Because if you reduce 2 over 4 to the lowest, then you still have 1 over 2. Let's try that. 2 cancels itself, 1. Goes into 4, 2. You can see we're still having 1 over 2. Let's do the same thing to the other fraction. 3 goes into itself once. Goes into 6, 2. So it means 1 over 2, 2 over 4, and 3 over 6 are equivalent fractions. Now, are equivalent fractions. If you're asked to find 2 equivalent fractions of 3 over 4, how do you go about this? What you simply do is pick any neutral number. I'll pick number 3. Let's multiply the numerator with 3 and denominator with 3. 3 times 3 gives us 9. 3 times 4 gives us 12. That means 9 over 12 is equivalent to 3 over 4. Let's pick another neutral number and multiply with 3 over 4. Let's pick value 10. 10 over 10. Let's go. 3 times 10 gives us 30. 4 times 10 gives us 40. How do we mean that 30 over 40 is equivalent to 9 over 12 and is also equivalent to 3 over 4? When you reduce this other fractions to the lowest term, you still have 3 over 4. Let's try that. 3 goes into itself. Into 9 is 3. 3 goes into 12 is 4. So you see, we still have 3 over 4. Let's do the same thing to the other larger fraction, 30 over 40. Remember, when the units are 0, simply do a 0 cancellation. 0 cancels 0. So you're still left with 3 over 4. Thus, 3 over 4, 9 over 12, and 30 over 40 are equivalent fractions. Do we understand? I'm sure we do. Let's proceed. Decimal fractions. What are decimal fractions? Decimal fractions are numbers with decimal points or numbers less than 1. Under decimal fraction, you were taught addition and subtraction of decimal fractions. You were taught approximation in decimal fractions. You were also taught multiplication and division in decimal fractions. Let's take addition of decimal fraction. Before we go into the addition, let's look at a typical example of a decimal number. We have the 500, 3 tenths, 8 units, the decimal point, 4 tenths, 5 hundredths, and 7 thousandths. Notice the numbers after the decimal point have added letters th to show us that they are decimal numbers. There are fractions. That has to do with the place value of decimal numbers. Now let's do addition of decimal numbers. If you are asked, add 126.3 plus 2 6.12. You simply use this proper arrangement. You take it this way: 1, 2, 6.3. Put the point first for the next number and write 1 and 2. In front we had 2. Now with this arrangement, we can solve this addition. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 1, 4. Fix the decimal point. 6 plus 2, 8. 2 plus 0, 2. And 1 plus 0, 1. So, what did you notice about this? I was very conscious of the arrangement of the decimal numbers. I ensured the decimal points were on the same line. The units are also on the same line. The first values after the decimal point are on the same straight line. With this arrangement, you're sure getting your proper answer and the correct answer. Now let's do approximation in decimal numbers. If you're asked, approximate 15.467 to the nearest whole number. Number 1 means the numbers before the decimal point, and the whole number there is 15. Now 4 is the immediate number after the decimal point, and it's not up to half, so it cannot affect the whole number, so the whole number will remain 15. That is number 1 answer, approximating to the nearest whole number. Let's take approximate to 1 place of decimal as our number 2. This was number 1 question. Now let's see. Approximate 15.467 to 1 place of decimal. 1 place of decimal means the first number after the decimal point. And the first number after the decimal point is 4. So we write the whole number first, point. Now let's look at 4. The number after 4 is 6. And 6 is up to half and above. So it will borrow 1 to add to 4. Then 4 will automatically change to 5. So approximating to the 1 place of decimal, we have 15.5. Now let's approximate to 2 places of decimal. That's number 3. 2 places of decimal. We'll also equally write the whole number first. 2 places of decimal means the first 2 digits after the decimal point. And the first 2 digits after the decimal points there are 4 and 6. So we fix our points. Then, can 7 affect 7? Can 7 affect 6? Yes, because 7 is up to half and above. So we borrow 1 from 7 and add to 6. 6 will become 7. So therefore, 2 places of decimal will have 15.47. So these were exercises on the decimal fraction. Do we understand? I'm sure we have been refreshed. Now let's move to the next topic. Next topic here is square root, and index. What is a square? A square has to do with one number multiplying itself once to give a product. That product is called square. Look at the diagram here. We have here 2 multiplying with itself once. It gives us 4. 3 multiplies with itself once. It gives us 9. So with 4, it gives us 16, and 5, 25. Thus, 4, 9, 16, and 25 are squares. 4, 9, 16, and 25 are squares. Okay, let's consider square roots. The symbol over there denotes square roots. And normally let's do one exercise here. It says, find the square root of 64. That's how it's written. Square root of 64. Let's do that together. you use the factor method to find square root of 64. What should we use? 2. 2 goes into 6, 3. 2 goes into 4, 2. Use 2 again. 2 goes into 3, once, remainder 1. That one that remains stands in front of 2 and it becomes 12. So 2 goes into 12 is 6. Use 2 again. 2 goes into 16, 8. Use 2. 2 goes into 8, 4. Use 2. 2 goes into 4, 2. Use 2. 2 goes into itself, 1. 1. So this isn't the final answer. Because we've been asked to find the square root. What you do is you pair this thing in twos and bring out one of them representing. You pair the next group and bring out 1. You pair the last group and bring out 1. Thus, the square root of 64 is equals 8. 2 times 2 times 2. So the square root of 64 is 8. Can we try another example? Okay, let's do it together. Let's find the square root of 100. 100. Use 2. 2 goes into 10, 5. 2 goes into 0, 0. Use 2 again because 50 is an even number. 2 goes into 5, 2 remainder 1. That one that remains, you keep it in front and it becomes 10. So 2 goes into 10, 5. Now 25 is an odd number, so we cannot use 2 again. We use 5. 5 goes into 25, 5. 5 goes into itself once. So the same method, you pair in groups and pull out a representative. The representative are the ones doing the multiplication, not the pairing. We pair the next one and bring out a representative. Now what do we have there? Square root of 100 is equals 10. Very simple. All right. We have come to the end of our lessons. I will not be giving you homework in this part 1, but at the end of the revision in part 2, you'll be having your homework. I hope you know math is very simple, and I'm also sure you're convinced that it's also very interesting. So, whenever we're having math, ensure your learning aids are around you. Be involved. I'll prove to you that it is not only easy, but it's also very interesting. God bless you. Remember to stay safe. Bye-bye.